Hello class, welcome back to another week of learning. This week we're going to be looking at a comprehension strategy called Stop and Think. And the idea of this reading strategy is to help you understand everything that you read it as you are reading it. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of reading a poem, but as I read down through the poem, I'm going to stop and think about what each verse is actually saying to me. So the title of the poem in front of us here is Spring, and it's written by Dami, who is age 10. Bunnies bouncing up and down, so speedy until they're all over the town. So once I read that, I stop and think, what is this poem actually about? The title is Spring, and it's talking about bunnies bouncing up and down, and it's bouncing all over the town. So straight away, I get an image in my head of the main street of a town and bunnies bouncing all over the place. And when I see that in my visual image, I start to think that there are no people about. Verse number 2. Buzzing bees racing to flowers so fast, so that they won't be last. And again, this is actually giving me an image now that of springtime. Because in my mind, I can now see bunnies jumping all over the place, and I can see bees racing to flowers to get their nectar. Flowers growing so tall until they can be sold at the mall. And a mall is another word for shopping centre. So what the image I'm getting now is lots of flowers growing up. I'm getting images of bees running, racing around flowers, bunnies hopping around the place. So what I'm actually getting now is an idea of what spring should be like when lots of different things come to life. Shine and light from the sun, making picnics to be fun. Big breezes turning to small, so that bins do not fall. Again, this is all giving me images in my head of what spring should be like. Animals gathering all around to harvest food that has been found. Easter bunny hiding chocolate eggs so children can find them under their legs. So what this poem is actually trying to explain to us is that these are the images we get around about Easter time. Around Easter time is when we get to see signs of spring outside. And if we go to the class feed, we'll actually get to see lots of pictures showing how spring is actually starting to show all around us by the flowers growing, the buds coming out on the trees and so forth. And in this poem here, this poem is giving us a description, but what I had done was I stopped at various verses to get an idea as to what's actually happening in the poem. So I'll read down through the poem one more time, and again, as I read through it the last time, you should start to get an image in your head. Spring by Dami, age 10. Bunnies bouncing up and down, so speedy until they're all over the town. Buzzing bees racing to flowers so fast, so that they won't be last. Flowers growing so tall until they can be sold at the mall. Shine and light from the sun, making picnics to be fun. Big breezes turning to small, so that bins do not fall. Animals gathering all around to harvest food that has been found. Easter bunny hiding chocolate eggs so children can find them under their legs. Okay, so your exercise now following reading this is in your Sneak Thieves book. You're going to go to page 120, unit 33, and you're going to read down through a poem called Jungle Fever. But as you read each verse, what I want you to do is stop and think about what that verse is actually saying to us. Okay, best of luck with that.